We got to get into the Dice thing.
Oh.
I was going to say it's kind of disappointing, but I think...
no, it's par for the course.
I think there's no surprise here, actually. We always knew that Dice had a massive ego, and it was always about himself.
Dice is two-faced, is what it is. If Dice walked in here right now, he'd be like, "Nah, we're pals. I tell you, we're friends from way back." And then he goes somewhere else and, we're assholes or useless or off the radar or whatever the fuck. That's Dice. He's two-faced. No real friend. Does Dice have any real friends in the business or anything? It's people that know him and people he's screwed over and acquaintances. That's it. Talks about broads and how badly to treat them as they just, fucking leave him. That's Dice. That's the real Dice.
Well, in the old days...
But thank God he's not hearing this because, we don't broadcast to anybody, right?
Well, yeah, that's what he's claiming, and he's going to be very mistaken.
Yeah.
Very mistaken. We're going to have a little pest mission coming up. But it's disappointing in a way because Dice was kind of a friend of the show when we were doing commercial radio.
Certainly was.
And then
friend enough for us to get him back into Madison Square Garden because it sure as shit wasn't happening by himself.
And he admitted that. He admitted that the power of our old radio show, we were able to get him into Madison Square Garden again. The guy has been to my apartment. I've been to his apartment because he had to rent one because he got kicked out of his house.
That's why I don't go to any of these people's houses.
I'm finally learning because stupid me, I really believe that some of these people that you hang out with, that they're really your friends.
Like Jimmy Norton.
And you realize there's no friends in this business.
None.
People, turn their back on you the first chance they get.
It's not show friends.
Anthony and I,
Jay Moore,
when we all fell on our asses,
Jerry Maguire,
for the Sex with Sam thing,
yes,
we found out who our real friends were, and there weren't many.
None.
There weren't many. A lot of people just turned their backs on us and walked away and jumped on the next train that was leaving.
But isn't it nice that there are some of us that just stood in the station crying and waiting?
Right.
For that train to come back around.
Just waiting.
Jimmy did. Rich Voss did.
But it was out of desperation more than love.
Jay Moore was there for us.
Yes, he was.
Hopped on the Colin Quinn Express, you did.
Yeah, but why would, of all the fucking broken down vehicles to take, where's Colin taking you? Jesus Christ, that jalopy.
Ladies and gentlemen, going to be another delay. The Colin Quinn Express is experiencing mechanical difficulties again. We fell off the track again.
Oh, I got a message I got to play from Colin. Not to get off the subject, just remind me of a good message of him.
All right.
Apologizing to me.
Stop it. I don't believe it exists.
So, we had to wait about 2+ years to get back on the radio. And then we got back on the radio, and people started coming around again. Coming around to congratulate us and say, hey, it's great to have you guys back. And they did the show, and they did that, and they called, and when can I come on, blah, blah, blah. Then others, pretty much just blew us off. And Dice was one of those guys, I'm sorry, but he blew us off.
There's some people that have gone on to the fucko list that I didn't think would be there. Some people, I understood when we were off the air, people had to do what they have to do.
Yeah, we always understood
it's like
that.
Hendry going to prison, I understand when you were in there, you had to do what you had to do. But you're out, I don't want you fucking with that shit. I understand that. But now we're back and stuff, and some certain people, I want to say names, Lewis Black, won't say the names.
Yeah, Lewis Black has been a big disappointment.
What a disappointment.
That guy was
such
on our
a good friend of the show.
All the time.
He was on all the time. And it wasn't like we had bad times on the show. A lot of fun. Back and forth. We had a lot of good fun talk about what was going on in the political world and things like that.
He got much bigger after we got fired, and he doesn't need us anymore.
Doesn't need us, doesn't want to fuck up
but then there's guys like
his career by getting involved with the likes of us.
Yep. But that's bullshit because, then you got someone like Dennis Leary. He doesn't need us, but he still does our show.
Because he has a good time.
He has a good time. He loves it.
Rogan's a guy who's fucking got a great career who just
Rogan
loves the
doesn't
show.
have to do the show ever.
Loves doing it.
But
he is a
whenever he can.
self-destructive ass, though, too, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. He's a fucking sociopath with a fucking BC hairdo, and he wants to just murder people and bite them. Rogan's a fucking major problem.
Bringing us the likes of Gangsta Fag should
exactly.
explain everything.
Oh, my God. Speaking of Gangsta Fag, we're all over the place, but I got an acoustic version of a Gangsta Fag song we got to play for everybody a little later. And quite frankly, Dice just never called us. He never called us.
No, never
And then
called.
he came up with some excuses that he needed to talk to me personally about some stuff. And, how could I call him out on that? Because it was about...
Well, where was the fucking call?
It was about my dad and stuff.
Yeah, where was the fucking call?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
To be quite honest with you, I don't know.
It was an excuse.
And, he could have called the show any time to say, hey, welcome back to, radio, guys. But he's another one of these guys that doesn't believe in satellite radio, which is crazy because Dice would be perfect on satellite radio, uncensored.
Well, what was satellite radio doing back in, 1986? Let's see. The satellites weren't up. No one had even thought of it yet. I'm just trying to put you in the mindset of Dice and where he is, where his mind exists. 1986. There ain't no satellite radio. It's all about him, his bedazzled jacket, and playing Vegas. That's it.
Right.
He has no clue what satellite radio is about.
Hold on a minute. Now we got some questions coming in. Pat in Boston. Pat.
Hey, boys, I just wanted to say, let it all out. There are new listeners jumping on board every day.
Oh, there he goes.
He just jumped.
Took a look out the window.
Thank you. Charlie in Jersey. Charlie.
Yeah, I think the reason Louis Black doesn't talk to you guys anymore is because of the bus incident.
No, after the bus, even after the bus, he'd been on the show. Everything was fine. We had talked about it.
Let me tell you something about the Voyeur bus incident that got about 12 or 13 guys arrested from this radio show. Look it up online because we don't have time to get into that. All these guys spent how many hours in jail?
27, and we both smoked.
27 hours. Jim Norton was in jail with Louis Black. I stayed in the office until everyone got out of jail. And Louis Black comes walking into the office. I'm sitting there. He comes walking in looking like shit. And I jumped up and I said, Louis, I am so sorry that it went down this way. We never expected people to get arrested, blah, blah, blah. He turned to me and goes, sorry? Don't say sorry. You just made my career.
See?
That was an exact quote from Louis Black. But then I guess since then he's kind of changed his tune. He wrote a whole book on his upbringing and stuff, like a autobiography or whatever. And he doesn't even mention the Voyeur bus incident in this book.
I talked to somebody about that, and I didn't read Lewis's book, but somebody did say that was only part of his life, like the first half of his life. Now, I could be wrong, but that was an explanation somebody gave me that did not cover the second half of his life. I have a feeling that his people got
to him and said, look, man, you got some respect in this business, and you don't really need to tell that story anymore, even though it's one of the greatest things that has ever happened to the guy.
I think his publicist or those type of people are keeping him off the show. When you start listening to a publicist, they can help you. But a lot of times they're driven by the wrong things. You can't always listen to a publicist.
You know something?
And he has been on this new show, but he used to stop by.
On the phone.
He
called once,
He called once because we bitched and complained, and he was in New York, and he's calling from his apartment. I'm like, what are you doing, Louis? What happened to you?
He called once. He used to stop by. We didn't even know he was coming. He used to, walk from his apartment and just kind of pop into the studio and hang out. And that was fine. We had a great time with him.
Right.
And then all of a sudden now, I don't know, like Jimmy says, maybe it's his handlers, doesn't need us anymore. I don't know. Where is he? But that's just one example.
People don't know how big Satellite's going to be. What's going to happen is a lot of the people that don't want to be a part of the show, because they're like, who's listening? All of a sudden when they realize, 6 million subscriptions equals over 20 million
Yeah, XM is saying 6 million by the end of the year.
And Sirius has, 3 million or whatever, 2 million? So that's times 2.5. It's 25 to 30 million people almost.
There are certain, people. Yeah.
We're going to make everyone look silly. So Dice was on a show in Philly. This is, beyond disappointing. I'm not even going to lie to you. Because you could hear it. It's not even a bit. It's like, what are you doing, Dice? You were in my apartment. When I went out to L.A., I hung out with you. Why would you do this?
Yeah.
So we went on Kid Chris's show at WISP in Philly. Mm-hmm. I guess we're cool with Kid Chris for now.
Yeah, because I talked to Chris and we email back and forth and stuff. He's like, dude, I didn't, it's everything's good. I want you to come on the show. A column the day before, the 30th was supposed to go on the show. So it's like, I guess it's all good, man. It was just I asked him though, and he said
all right.
It was good.
Yeah, Jimmy's playing New Year's in Philly at the Tower Theater. Tickets are on sale
so
right
we're
now.
gonna go do Chris's show the day before.
So we got audio. I heard that Dice was on Kid Chris's show, and I heard that Dice was trashing us. So we tracked down the show and got this tape. And it's unbelievable. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you see, now that you're on the East Coast,
yep.
now that you're now that you took it down to street level and we're in Philly, we can talk cool again.
That's right. That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
Before we had to put out a facade.
You got all these guys, they're running to, the cable, whatever they are.
See, got all these guys going to satellite radios, but he's going to try to make it like he has
no one
idea
even knows what it is.
He's going to make believe he didn't walk around XM a few months back looking for a show, and XM wasn't interested.
Yeah. Cable.
So he's going to call it cable, like I don't know that thing. They're jumping to cable.
I don't know. What are they on? The Morse code? They're on the wireless or something. Yeah, you dot dash dash.
Listen to this shit that comes out of his mouth now.
All these guys, they're running to, the cable, whatever they are. They're in the cable box now. You know what I mean? So they could say four-letter words. Not my boy, Kid Chris.
Okay.
Kid Chris is sticking with the
old
real
school
radio.
Old school.
The old school where millions of people are still tuning in and going, you know what? I don't need to hear the F word to be friggin' entertained. See how I just said friggin'?
What a dick.
Yeah, what the fuck is that all about?
What a dick.
You know, the F word, I don't like how it might hurt the children. What is it, the kinder, gentler dice?
Of all people.
The guy was dropping the F-bomb all the time on the fucking air, by the way. By the way, whenever he was on, it was just dump fucking city. They probably tell him beforehand, Dice, please don't curse. We're going to lose the fucking license. Just don't curse. The freedom that he was always, fighting for. I go on SNL. I was banned because of what I said. MTV won't have me back on no more. And he's bashing a medium that gives you complete freedom of fucking speech. What a dickbag. What a fucking dickbag reject from Greece, bedazzled leather jacket fuckcock. Go fuck yourself, Dice. Go fuck yourself.
Now, this is not a bit.
No.
You're just showing your true colors.
What an ass.
It's pathetic. All the help we gave him, no one was caring about Dice in this area, in the New York area, when we started. It started with Anthony doing a great Dice impression, making believe he was a janitor.
Yeah, huh?
And people really believed it was Dice. And then one of Dice's people called Dice, and Dice got a hold of the show, and we had a great relationship for a few years, and we sold out wherever he went in the New York area.
Yep.
And trust me, he wasn't selling out before he started doing our show. And we made him very, very funny on the radio. That is a fact.
Yeah, put a new little edge on him.
We knew how to work with him and his silliness.
Yeah, because all he'd want to do is take over.
So now he's trashing and saying, satellite radio, all it is about saying the F word, saying curses. No, it's not, Dice, you fuck.
He doesn't get it.
I actually, when I was touring with Andrew at the time, when I first heard about you guys, I heard, this guy Anthony did this impression of Dice, who was my friend. And I was like, fuck Anthony. I was like, who are these douches? The name of the show is Dumb, Opie, and what assholes. And I listened one day, driving to a gig, and I was, fucking howling. It really made me laugh the first time. I actually got turned on.
Look at that, and you were prejudiced against us.
I was so ready to hate
you,
you,
the
too.
show stinks.
Yeah.
But that's what I heard. I'm like, a fucking Opie, and who the fuck are these
We're
idiots?
stuck with this stupid name.
I still kind of feel the same way.
I know.
Norton and Friends works better.
Norton and Friends is a fun name because friends are involved.
Right. That's right.
Norton. I like Norton. Jim Norton and Friends.
But that's how I got turned on to you guys.
He's a what? Yes.
What, Kev? Don't be so shy. You got to
raise his hand.
Hurry.
Didn't he thank you guys on his album, the last one that came out?
Yeah, it was all
Face
about that.
down, ass up.
But then, he doesn't need us anymore, and he thought that we just didn't have much of a career left, so he's attempting to start relationships with other people.
Other people
turning his back on us.
In the type of radio that his hands are tied behind his back. He can't do anything that he does on stage. He can't be the persona that he is on stage. If he sat down at that microphone over here in this studio, he could go off like he's never been able to go off on radio. And I believe he would enjoy himself doing it.
Right.
But fuck it.
It's an insult to what we do because, satellite is growing. It's more. It's so much more than just saying curses.
Yeah.
You get to speak your mind. You get to talk about adult subjects in an adult way.
And you're not a slave to advertising. You don't have to break every 15 minutes, and you don't have to fucking worry about trashing a sponsor or something like that.
And you know, and our audience is growing every day. All these critics out there, they're all just laughing and laughing at us. Well, you just wait to see what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't forget anything on this show.
As they bash, especially people in the broadcast radio industry, they are in meetings with the NAB and the FCC and everyone else in meetings trying to put restrictions on satellite radio.
Right.
That's what they're constantly doing that. If they're if they're not worried at all, why put so much energy in fighting this? Just let it go. It's not going to amount to anything, right?
Yeah, you guys are all preaching that radio should be free.
There you go. You got it.
All right, you guys.
Shit is free, too.
You guys do the free radio. We'll do it this way, and we'll see who wins in the end. Let's say hi to Anthony in New Jersey. Anthony.
Yes, Opie. Oh, in Jersey. I thought you meant across from you.
What's up, Anthony?
Guys, you know, it's ironic that you're talking about Dice because I just recently discovered this oavirus.com, which is just absolutely tremendous, whatever those guys, whoever they are. But last night I was listening to O&A doing the silent game on Dice from years ago, which was just tremendous stuff. You know, I'll tell you, I'm disappointed here because I always felt Dice and O&A, I mean, you guys... He was a staple on the NEW show, and I just think somebody's gotten to him. I don't even think he probably's even ever listened to
he's completely out of touch is what it is. He's completely out of touch as far as, you know, what satellite radio's about, what comedy's about. Completely out of touch.
Guys. Too much history, man. I hope you guys reconcile because you guys did probably 100 hours worth of great radio back in the past.
You know what? We don't have to get back together. We're building a brand new show anyway. If you notice, like, this show is a lot different from the old show anyway. We got rid of a lot of dead weight. So,
man, I tell you.
So we'll just add them to the fucking pile. Thanks, Anthony. Tony in Long Island. Tony.
Hey guys, I saw Dice play at Governor's a couple years back, probably when you know, you guys were off the air with you know, Sex and Sam, whatever. And you opened up with Florentine, you know, had a great show. Dice came out, he looked like a 300-pound grandma, you know, wearing sweatpants. None of his jokes were funny, you know. He did the, you know, the dirty limericks or whatever. Yeah, it got a chuckle, but he was all over the place. Like, I remember him doing, you know, Bop Now It's Mine, Banana Juice. He did all those great jokes on your show. Take you guys out of the equation, it was just painful. You know, I was a kid.
Hey, and, the fact is, go listen to all the old tapes when Dice was on. The fact is, we made Dice funny. We knew how to work with him. Simple as that.
Yeah, it was just...
I don't take my word for it. Go to oavirus.com, whatever, and listen for yourself. Like Anthony fucking with him, and I did my own share of fucking with him. That's what made it entertaining. You know.
Yeah, it was just really, really bad when I remember way back when he did, you know, he sold out the Garden, he was bigger than life, and I'm like, hey, Dice is playing Governors?
Right.
You know, like, yeah, I saw some great acts there, but I'm like, it was painful. Happy birthday, Jimmy.
Thanks, Tony. Jim in Brooklyn, real fast.
Hey, guys, I hate to see this happen, but you guys did make him funny. Dice has sucked for a long time. I knew it was going to come, but, you know, Anthony, I apologize to you for yesterday, the argument that you and I had about the Transit Authority yesterday, but, you know, it was going to happen with Dice. I apologize to you guys. Have a great one.
No, you don't have to apologize. Who cares?
It's a discussion.
We want all opinions on the show, Jim.
Yeah.
You had an opinion.
It's a discussion.
And you did a good job with your opinion yesterday. Don't worry about it.
Well, my only problem with my opinion yesterday when I listened to it on the replay was I think I cut off way too early, and I should have gone on a little further with it. But
that's all right, man. No big deal. You just continue being a dollface.
All right, Jim. Thank you. Jim from Brooklyn. We got more audio of Dice. So where were we? I should back up slightly.
A little bit, because it's not just satellite radio he goes off on. It's directly us.
Right.
He starts going off on us.
If he's doing this to start a thing, we're not starting a thing with you, Dice. This is the real deal. I dare you to book a show in the New York area. I dare you. And the pests will gobble up all the fucking tickets, and we're going to see how good you really are.
You'll make money. You'll get ticket sales, but you won't want to perform in front of that audience.
I dare you. And the pests, remember this, because we might have to move on to other things. If Dice books a show anywhere close to New York, remind us. We're going to get all the pests at that show, and we'll see how good Dice really is.
Yeah. See you work that crowd.
Going, you know what? I don't need to hear the F word to be friggin' entertained. See how I just said friggin'? See how I was able to adjust?
Oh, so
and you know there's nobody filthier than me.
So you don't do Opie and Anthony anymore?
I didn't even know there was an Opie and Anthony anymore.
I am fucking enraged right now. In fucking rage. See,
He didn't even know.
It's not even funny. It's not a thing, Dice. You're a fuck. You're a fuckhead.
Oh, boy.
That's cute, Dice.
He's on regular radio.
No one knew who you were until you started
us.
calling our show, right? But we didn't go down that fucking road.
He was lost.
You know there's nobody filthier than me.
So you don't do Opie and Anthony anymore?
I didn't even know there was an Opie and Anthony anymore. You know what I mean? I'm telling you the truth. You know what I mean? The last I heard, they were in the desert looking for a job somewhere.
What?
I heard they opened up a meat stand or something. You know, like halfway to Vegas, there's like a little hot dog stand. Going, remember us?
Those guys were nice to me, and I have no problem with anybody. So.
I'm not saying I don't got no problem.
Oh, okay.
I'm allowed to make fun of who I want.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I'm the king. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's real believable. It's real
king.
believable, Dice. You're the king of what? The king of the turncoats?
Your hot dog stand. What is it? And he just goes off on some... Oh, is that what we're doing?
All the
we have
critics
a hot dog stand in the middle of the desert by Vegas?
All you critics out there just keep laughing and laughing. Enjoy it as we rebuild this thing. Payback's going to be a bitch for all you.
He gets weird, man. Like, you know, you guys know how loyal I was to him, and it's like...
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really difficult. You just like, see a guy you loved, and... But we had a whole thing. We didn't talk for 2 years. I mean, just stopped talking to me, which was fine. I called him twice, and that was it. I'm not going to...
Yeah.
We were off the air. And it turned out it was about a bit that he thought I stole from him.
Are you shitting me?
And it wasn't a sex bit, because he was an influence in my career. I mean, I loved him. But it was a Christopher Reeve bit. And I saw him at the Comedy Store, and I'm like, dude, I've never stolen a bit in my life. Ever.
No.
Ever.
Actually, let me tell you something about Jimmy, because I love comedy, and there's a lot of times I go, Jimmy, you ever hear Bill Hicks or this person or that person? He's like, no, I refuse to listen, because he doesn't want to be influenced by other guys.
Yeah.
For the most part.
And I've watched enough comedy in my life, and I've heard enough guys, like, you know, Hicks I have, honest to God, never listened to. And I hear he's brilliant, I just don't want to be influenced. I don't want to know. But this was a Christopher Reeve bit about Christopher Reeve going to the Oscars, and the bit I do, or did, and I know it was mine. And I'm not saying he took it. He made fun of Christopher Reeve. So I'm at the Comedy Store with him recently. I'm like, all right, what was your bit? He's like, I don't remember. I'm like, well, let's talk this out.
Yeah.
Line by line, what was the bit? And they were completely different bits. They both just mentioned that Christopher Reeve did an award show. And the bits went completely the opposite direction. I'm like, dude, there's not one line similar. It was like we didn't talk for 2 years.
Christopher Reeve is doing an award show, and I got my tongue up his ass. Oh! Now, what was your bit? You're ripping me off, hoo-hoo. Tell him, Fred. Tell him. Hey, jerk-off. So I'm fucking Christopher Reeve, right? And he's just laying there with his legs dangling off the bed, and I'm pounding his ass. Geesh, geesh. What's yours? What's your bit? Exactly the same, right? Fucking ass.
Totally opposite bits, dude.
Horse.
Totally up. Mine was about, they gave him a standing ovation, and it was about, the dumb bit, but him wearing a cape. It was stupid, but totally different.
Yeah.
I could see if it was like a sex bit where he does a blowjob joke. I'm like, oh, fuck. I was actually thinking maybe it was something I heard and didn't realize I heard.
Yeah.
But that's just not the case with that one.
All right, well, let's finish up with this audio here.
No problem with anybody, so.
I'm not saying I don't got no problem.
Oh, okay.
I'm allowed to make fun of who I want.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I'm the king. You know what I mean? When I'm halfway to Vegas, I'll stop at the hot dog stand and say, put some relish on there.
Hey, how come you...
We're gonna be serving Dice hot dogs.
See, Opie, here's the scenario. Dice's limo pulls up on its way to Vegas in the middle of the desert
because he's a big star and we're nothing.
You seen some of the roads out there? They're just nothingness. But then on the horizon, there's a little glimmer, and it's that chromium kind of hot dog stand on the side of the road. And Dice goes, I'm a little hungry. And he pulls up, And who does he see working there?
Me and you.
Me and you. I'm back cooking them up.
Because our careers are in the toilet.
And you're in the front taking the money and giving the cans of grape soda and stuff. And, asking people if they want mustard and relish and stuff like that. And we serve Dice. He says, thank you. And off he goes to his huge star-studded life in Vegas. And we're in the desert selling hot dogs. The end.
He's brilliant.
No, how about...
He's fucking brilliant.
We're here doing a radio show that is getting more popular and more listeners by the day. And you...
Being mentioned in papers almost on a daily basis now, all over America.
Yeah, let's just say we're doing fine. Doing fine in this business. And let's say Dice is canceling shows because of lack of interest in ticket sales. How's that for reality? Let's not conjure up this little scenario of a desert hot dog stand and a trip to Vegas for Dice.
What show did he have to cancel again?
He talks about some show that had to be rescheduled. You know what that means? No one's buying your fucking tickets. No one's buying your fucking tickets. That's what it means. That's what the rescheduling is. Dice.
To Vegas, I'll stop at the hot dog stand and say, put some relish on there.
Hey, how come you canceled your show here in Atlantic City?
No, I'm coming to Atlantic City.
I know, but what happened to the one on the November 4th?
There was a miscommunication because I was doing a month at the Luxor in Vegas.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a miscommunication between my tickets, the people, and their money. See, none of them was communicating with each other. I need the people's money to talk to my tickets. They weren't talking.
Yeah, he's going to spin it, but the fact is the tickets weren't selling at all.
Of course.
At all.
Of course.
I see. Okay.
See, I've been sort of what I would call coming out of retirement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was writing a book.
15-year
and,
fucking retirement?
Put things together.
A book?
I got engaged, and that really got my wife angry. so we're going like through a divorce type of situation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's bad news.
And now my chick, who's from Philly, Eleanor, she gets mad at me, because I won't talk about the wedding. And I'm going, wedding? I got to go do a month in Vegas at the Luxor.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to talk about is getting married. All I'm going to be around is chicks. You know what I mean?
All right, enough.
Is he really getting married again?
Yeah.
He is stupid. Holy shit.
So there you have it.
That's it.
Dice is on the fucko list, trust me.
Fucking
I hope he books a show soon in the New York area.
Cue the bugle.
We have pests all over America that are saying they'll stop in at Dice shows, but we know we have a much bigger following at this point in the New York area, so
yeah,
we need him to book a show close to New York, and then we're going to show you.
When was the last time?
We're going to show you, Dice, how powerful this satellite radio really is.
When was the last time he was in New York?
I don't know.
He can't fucking sell tickets in New York.
I don't know.
No one wants to see that. He can go to fucking, Branson, Missouri? Is that where it is? Where they book those dinner fucking theaters? Is that where it is, Kev? Yeah. All the old fucking hacks from years ago wind up there. Yeah, go there. You'll be a fucking scream. They'll love you. Do the rhymes. Do the rhymes, Dice. Ugh.
Play Stairway to Heaven.
Exactly. Hickory dickory dock. Woo! All these rubes can fucking clap like it's still 1986, you cock.
Fucking guy was in my apartment. Go fuck yourself, Dice. Go fuck yourself.
There. Yeah.
I'm getting wiser finally. You can't make friends with anybody.
Don't.
You can't. I'm serious. Especially in the entertainment business.
Some of them might actually turn out to be decent friends.
There's a
Who
couple.
wants to take the chance?
There's a couple, but most of them are just the same fucking person.
That's it.
Keep laughing, critics. Keep laughing. As we get bigger and bigger every day, you fucks.